But I found in the process of writing that it's not that I hate writing, it's that I deferred the parts I thought were going to be the most challenging as long as physically possible. And I did it because self-doubt was present. I had frustration, and it became the leading voice. And there were days, I spent a lot of days sitting at Panera writing with as many 32-ounce sodas as I could physically keep down. But it took me in those days, not just the intentionality of sitting and writing, but it took me processing with someone who had been through those steps before, who knew what it was like to fight through writing a book, knew what it was like to have self-doubt, to process through and say, what is the reality of this? Is this you just in your head, or is there something else here? And I had a business coach who helped me with some of that. You will hear from him at some period of time on this podcast. He will be part of one of the shared port episodes. But it helped me to set straight the crazy brain that was going on, and even to rework some of the content and the outlines to see why the ideas I was wrestling with needed to be shared and were worth fighting for. And I found that it was so easy to lose sight of the end from the middle. And the stories that you tell yourself can be dangerous to your business. So you have got to find someone you trust, someone who believes in you, who's going to help you process and get your brain right so that the story you are telling gets centered. Otherwise, the stories in your head are going to be like a hole in a rowboat. And all it's going to do, it may not sink the ship, but it's going to draw so much attention and effort away from what you are moving forward in that you're going to miss out on many of the important things. So those are the 3 stories that you have got to figure out how to work through in your business. The story that you are telling your audience, the story of your results that your audience is sharing with others, and your own private world story of how you're talking to yourself. To begin to wrestle through, to figure out those answers will make a huge difference. So my question for you today is, what story are you struggling to tell in your business right now? Of those 3, which is the most dominating in your mind? And what impact is that struggle having on your business? Is it financial? Is it encouragement? Is it drive? Is it what impact is it actually having? And what would having a solution to that struggle mean for your business? Now, here's the reality is I want this podcast to be super practical. And you're going to find that I'm going to talk about some things that, wow, this seems really marketing. And there's other times you're going to go, this feels really story. Like, I don't see always how they connect. And the reality is that our marketing and our storytelling overlap. And there's moments where you won't see how they are separate. And there are other moments where you go, oh, well, that was a nice story. That was an act of marketing. And I want you to begin to look at, if you aren't already, master storytellers like Mr. Beast, like others who are like Taylor Swift with her music, who are doing amazing jobs of deciding on a single idea I want to share in this moment, and then crafting a story that can be shared with their audience, a story that can be shared by their audience about the results and the efforts, and then a centering story about what is the story you're telling yourself about the reality of what you're trying to accomplish in those moments. If you can begin to wrestle through those in your business, things will change dramatically.